Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and I was always told I had a voice radio. So today, we're taking another look at Electrode GX. Now, we did a profile of this the other day, looking at all the basics and the attacks and all of that. And I said that it was underwhelming. And this last happened with Gyarados GX. I got an awful lot of messages from people going, what about this? What about this? What about this? And some of them are decent ideas. Many of them are a little bit awkward and are going to be difficult to put into action in real games. And the way I dealt with it with Gyarados was making a dumb things to do with Gyarados video. So ladies and gentlemen, it's time for dumb things to do with Electrode GX. That's not to say these won't work. And it's not to say these won't win games. It is instead to say these things are a little bit awkward and not the most practical ideas. They're a bit dumb, but they might work and win you some games. So starting off, a quick reminder here, we're only talking about the ability for Electrode here. It's still not a great attacker, and actually it's still weak to Buzzwole, which kind of sucks, but again, you shouldn't be being attacked here, so the weakness shouldn't be a huge issue. The ability says that during your turn, you may KO Electrode. It's a GX, so give your opponent 2 prizes. And if you do, you can attach 5 energy cards from your discard pile to your Pokemon in any way that you like, but only to non-EXs and non-GXs. Now, one thing I did not make enough of a deal of in my Electrode profile video, my Electrode analysis video, call it what you will, this is energy cards, not energy. So double colorless energy, strong energy, counter energy, all of these are on the table and can be accelerated here with Electrode, including Super Boost Energy, which if you've got 3 Stage 2s on the field is 4 of any energy, which is frankly ridiculous. The thing is, I made this point in the video and I stand by this. We don't particularly have any non-EXs, non-GXs that we want to pile energy on at the moment. They're just not that great. But let's say you want to get a basic EX or GX. Well, all EXs are basic. How about Ninja Boy? And the theory here is very simple. You KO Electrode, you accelerate the energy to one of your non-EX, non-GX basic Pokemon. I mean, Tapu Koko would be ideal here. Decent attack for double colorless and free retreat, so it's really quite nice. And then you Ninja Boy into something a little bit better. So if you're thinking about basic Pokemon GX, how about something like Buzzwole? Now, the awkward thing about using Buzzwole is we will need to use a basic fighting Pokemon if we want to accelerate strong energy. So we couldn't use Tapu Koko, but something like the new Buzzwole coming in Ultra Prism would absolutely be there. And what you can do is you can use Electrode to then accelerate 4 strong energy straight away onto Buzzwole GX. And if you accelerate 4 strong energy onto Buzzwole GX, that's Jet Punch for 110 damage. And that's 110 before you add in stuff like Diancie Prism Star, which would put it up to 130, and Choice Band, which would then put it up to 160, while also doing 30 to the bench. It means that your Knuckle Impact will be doing 240 damage. That means something up to a Decidueye would be KO'd straight away, but a Diancie Prism Star or a Regirock or a Choice Band, and you're hitting up to 250 now, and stuff like Solgaleo or Metagross would be going down in a single hit. And as for Absorption GX, if you've not taken any prizes, it naturally does 240, with 4 strong energy would do 320. Which is ridiculous. Now, of course, you need to get all of your strong energy into the discard here, but it's not the end of the world. I mean, if you're in Expanded, you can use Battle Compressor. Otherwise, maybe you use stuff like Energy Lotto to search it out, and then just play stuff like Professor Sycamore or Ultra Ball to then get it into the discard. Although, as a side note, even though this is a dumb things to do with Electrode video, I'm still not a fan of using this to accelerate energy onto something like a Duskmane Necrozma, because I don't want to give up 2 prizes to accelerate a bunch of energy to a Pokemon that's then just going to give away the energy. So one thing we can do here is just Ninja Boy straight away from a basic we don't want into a basic GX. But the other thing we can do is evolve up. So let's have a look at Gyarados GX. Now, if ever there was a Pokemon that just piling energy on was a great idea, it's Gyarados GX, because you do 30 damage with infinite force for every energy attached to both your active Pokemon, Gyarados, and your opponent's active Pokemon. So let's say, for argument's sake, you can get 3 double colorless energy and a super boost energy and a basic fairy energy into the discard. You KO Metagross. Now, you cannot accelerate them onto a Gardevoir, but you can accelerate them onto a Routes or onto a Curlier. And then you've essentially got 13 energy on a single Gardevoir. 3 double colorless is 6. Plus the fairy energy is 7, plus the super boost energy is 11, which means you're hitting 330 without your opponent having to have a single energy on. Now, to put that in context, a Wishy-Washy GX has 210 HP. At a Fighting Fury bout, it goes up to 250. Then we've got the new Wishy-Washy, which gives it an extra 20 HP per Wishy-Washy, goes up to 330. Well, if you can get 3 double colorless and a super boost energy and a regular energy onto here, you've got 11 energy and you're doing 330. One hit KO on super beastly huge HP Wishy-Washy. Yay! Now, of course, Super Boost Energy only works if you've got 3 Stage 2s out. And okay, with Gardevoir you can also use Gallade, but, you know, it's not ideal. Of course, the big problem with this is you have got to get all 5 energy in the discard. And you've got to KO Electrode to give up 2 prizes. And you have got to have the evolution ready to go. Either you've got a Curlier and you've got a Gardevoir in hand, or you've got a Routes and you've got a rare Candy Gardevoir in hand. Because I guarantee if you've got a whole bunch of energy attached to a Routes or a Curlier, and then you give up 2 prizes and end your turn, your opponent is going to play a Guzma, bring that Pokemon up, and get a very, very easy KO. And then you've essentially given up 3 prizes, and you haven't accelerated any energy, and you're pretty much losing the game at this stage. Now, we talked about Gyarados earlier. Let's mention Gyarados now. Gyarados actually has a really good attack. It's got 240 HP, which is pretty big. It's got a weakness to lightning, which quite frankly is not particularly bad at the moment. Raichu's seeing a little bit of fringe play, but it's not seeing much, and that really is about it. And for 5 energy, as long as there's a stadium in play, you do 200 damage. That's pretty good. That'll KO stuff like Buzzwole, and then with a choice band, you can get stuff like Zoroark or Gardevoir, etc. Problem is 5 energy. So you get 5 basic water in the discard, which is much easier than getting a bunch of double colorless or a bunch of strong energy in the discard, because you can just play a bunch of them. Then you use Electrode, get 5 energy onto Gyarados, and then you can use Draconic Disaster turn after turn after turn. Although do remember, you will need a stadium in play in order for this to work, otherwise you're only doing 100. And like I say, Gyarados was the original dumb things to do with video, and we suggested using stuff like Kiawe and all sorts, and I don't think Gyarados is particularly great as a Pokemon, but I think if you can get it rolling, this could work. And then, of course, once you get Electrode working, remember I said you got access to Counter Catcher, so KOing your Electrode to give up 2 prizes, then bringing up Gyarados to just do 200 every single turn, I can think of worse things to do. This could be fun. But like I said at the beginning, this is a dumb things to do with Electrode video. I don't suggest any of these are really going to work in high-level tournaments. I mean, Gyarados, you literally have to put all this energy onto a 30 HP Magikarp, because there is no stronger Magikarp that exists. Now, at least we've got the one from Crimson Invasion here that has immunity to attacks when it's on the bench, because otherwise you put all that energy on the bench and your opponent drops a Buzzwole and it just gets KO'd. There are absolutely ways to get Electrode rolling. The 2 main ones, and I got message after message after message about all of these, using Ninja Boy to get a basic GX or just evolving. But using Ninja Boy means you've got to have Ninja Boy the turn you use Electrode, and evolving means you've got to have the evolution the turn you get Electrode. Otherwise, your opponent is just going to take a Guzma, take an extra prize, get rid of all your energy, and you've given up 2 prizes with Electrode. And that's the thing, right? Anytime you use Electrode, you've given up 2 prizes. And you've got to get the energy in the discard in the first place. And you've got to have everything at the right time. I love the art on Electrode. I intend going and getting 18 Electrodes and having a double page spread in my binder of just Electrode. I adore the artwork. It might be my favourite GX artwork we've had so far. It's brilliant. But as a Pokemon, I said I wasn't a huge fan of it when I did my initial analysis, and even though it's fun to do a dumb things to do with Electrode video, I still think all of these are way too awkward. I wanted to bring you this video because a lot of people suggested it, and these things are fun things to try. If you're at League, if you're on PTCGO, and you want to make a fun deck which is a little bit different and roll with it, these could be fun. But I wouldn't suggest doing any of this in a regional or an international championship. I think that might go rather badly. But as always, ladies and gentlemen, I want to hear from you guys. Do you think any of these will work? Can you think of any other dumb things to do with Electrode? Let me know in the comment section. Go nuts, but be nice. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wossy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and so on, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do just that. And do check out my Dragon Ball Super / video game channel, Wossy Plays. We are tantalizingly close to 1,000 subs and getting a vanity URL. But by far the most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.